So welcome to part 4. Hang on a second, let me see if I can fix this. There we go, the lens was a little dirty. I was wondering why I was kind of fuzzy. So, part 4. Well, you heard about the kind of lifestyle. In fall and winter time, we would pick pine boughs. You go out and you find a hemlock grove because they used to use them for wreaths and stuff around Christmas. So in the fall, starting generally in October, we went out and we'd pick these pine boughs. So you take a lopping shear or a saw or whatever, you reach up, you cut a branch off. Had to be about 1/4 of an inch thick. They paid you by weight, so that's 1/4 of an inch approximately. So when you got 25 pounds of them, you bundle them up, and you got $1.10, $1.20, something like that for that bough. So we picked pine boughs, and it'd take you a good weekend to get maybe 20, 25 of these boughs. And you wind up with $25, $30 for it. At the time was not a bad day's work, but it was long, it was hard, and it was strenuous because you were in the woods all day long. Now, you've heard me say in some of my knife reviews, I had a fish knife by Colonial or Imperial, one or the other. That was my knife. I didn't have a belt knife. So we'd go out in the woods, we'd take a lunch, or we'd take thermoses, and Dad would always take a shotgun just in case. But my dad he owned a rifle, a pistol, and a rifle, a shotgun, and a 22, and possibly a pistol. And that's all the guns you needed, which he was right, it is. But so he'd take his Mossberg, and we'd be out in the woods all day. Unfortunately, everything we made off them boughs usually went to the bar because we cut the boughs and then they'd go to the bar at night. And so through that 12, 13-year-old time period, I really started to become an independent and hating people. I hated humanity and people. So I had a really bad dislike. Now, school, otherwise, we had that wash tub, and we took a bath about every 3 days, 2 days, somewhere in there. Because you had to hold the water by hand, you had to heat it up on the electric stove, which cost some money. And then you took your bath and you threw the water down the drain. So I was a smelly kid. When I was 12 years old, I was 6'1" and 260 pounds. So needless to say, I used to get picked on. And one day I decided, you know what? Mom used to tell me, you don't hit people, you don't hurt people, you're gentle. It doesn't work that way. I found out that if you punch somebody in the face, they don't bother you. So I started to get fairly mean. I mean, not just to the point of I get mad fast. I mean, dog mean. So school life was, it was pretty harsh. Not just for me, but for the people around me. I remember one morning a kid that I really didn't like very well came in. We're standing in the hallway in our lockers getting our books and everything. And hey, Tom, and I punched him square in the face just for saying hello. So I got in a lot of trouble in school. I missed a lot of days in school because I did learn behind our school was a gigantic barn. And if you skipped school and ran to the barn, you could sleep in the hayloft. So I'd sleep in the hayloft till about 12 o'clock, go back to school and eat lunch because that was the only meal I might have got for the day. I wasn't sure. So I'd eat lunch there and go home. So then, I was in sixth grade then. I had my appendix out that year. So I got to school late that year. I started school in middle October. So I had this, like I said about the guy before, it started with a P and ended with a K, teacher by the name of Robert Barrett. About halfway through the school year, I started noticing that the young girls in class that would wear the skimpy clothes got straight A's. And I just so happened I knew a couple of them. So I said to the one girl one day, I said, how do you do this? You're not that, She said, it's easy. I give Mr. Barrett a flash here and there. And she said, I don't have to do anything. So wait a minute now. You're only 13 years old. She said, oh, it works for me. Okay. So me and Mr. Barrett got into a major fight. And I spoke my mind as usual. And I basically told him the truth. I said, you know what? I said, you're a pervert. Now, we didn't know about child molestation then. I said, but you're a damn pervert. You're passing people in your class because they're flashing you a little bit of skin. Basically, got told to keep my mouth shut or he's going to fail me. I'm going to have to go to school again the next year, the same grade. I looked at him and said, I called him some 4-letter words and told him, I said, go ahead, it's worth my time. And I went immediately over to the principal, which of course didn't believe me anyway. So I repeated 6th grade. Now I am dirt dog effing mean. I just, there was no other way to explain it. If a bear attacked me, I probably would have stood my ground and fought him. That kind of mean. So, school-wise, my 6th, 7th, 8th year in school, my 6th grade year, boy, I got a lot of 2nd, 6th grade year. I got in major trouble. There's 180 days of school in the school year. I missed 120 of them my 7th grade year. And at that time, they would just pass you to get you out of their face. And yeah, that was a pretty harsh time, boy. Wish I could apologize to them people. They didn't deserve it, but I was just taking, my meanness from what I learned at home and other adults out on them. I got in trouble one time on a bus, and the school bus driver, Bob Myers, my dad took me over there and he said, you're going to apologize to him. Bob's like, you're going to apologize to me. Like, okay, Mr. Myers, I'm sorry, blah, 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 blah. So I get on the bus a couple of days later, and he starts on me. You little, your dad made you apologize, but you're a little. I punched him square in the face. And got thrown off the bus for a week. Never again. I didn't apologize to anybody. Same thing with school. I wouldn't apologize. I don't care. I wouldn't apologize to anybody. In school, like I said, it was a different subject there because I happened to notice in 7th grade that they were teaching us the same stuff I learned in 6th, 5th, 4th. And I told them that. And I said, if you're going to keep teaching me the same stuff and nothing new to learn, and I'm not learning nothing. And I put my books down and never touched them again. I didn't do a scrap of work 7th and 8th grade. Now, 8th grade, they asked me to join the football team. He said, you're a big boy. Yeah. Well, you play football for us. You won't have to worry about passing school. Oh, okay. So I'll play your little game. So I went playing football. And the football coaches lined us up in the thing after practice one day, no clothes. And that faggot coach that we had was going up and down the line of guys commenting about their size. At that point in time, I told him that he was a pervert and I will no longer play football for faggots. And that was the end of my football career. Then it was Mr. Gone. I was one of the football coaches. He hounded me for 4 weeks about this stupid ass jersey. Oh, it says North Pocono Trojans. You don't deserve it. I looked at him and said, you don't deserve to be a teacher because you're an idiot. Well, that proceeded to, he had some words with me that time, and he had one too many words, and I beat the hell out of him. And I got suspended out of school for 2 weeks. So, that was school. Now, mind you, this will culminate into something in probably the next episode. So that was school. Home life was bars. The American Legion, the VFW, Joe's Bar, the Beacon, the Grandview, the Erie, the Rainbow, Tootsie's, Bucky's. There was all bars in the area they would frequent. Dad would drink, play pool. Mom would drink, play pinball machine. Now, pinball machine, you put a quarter in and these balls come out. And at the time in the bars, if you got I don't know, let's just say 10,000 points on the machine, you made $5 or they paid you 20 or 10 or whatever. It was really hard to get this number, but my mother would put $10, $15 a night in there. At that time, that was a lot of money. So she got a gambling bug. And her and the old man would fight. Oh my God, they would fight over that. Because he would finish his beer and say, okay, Max, let's go. My mother's name was Maxie. Let's go home. Oh, I'm going to put one more quarter. Okay. Well, she put a quarter in there. He'd have another draft. She'd look over and see that he was half finished with his beer. She'd drop another quarter and he'd finish his beer. Oh, I just put a quarter. Give me another. This would go on for hours. Hang on a minute. This would go on for hours. So they were in the bar. By that time, I was old enough to stay home by myself. And they would leave, and like I said, I would leave and go do my thing. Some nights it was, camping, fishing overnight at a lake. Some nights it was partying. My 13th birthday, I spent the weekend with 2 girls in a trailer, a 14-year-old and a 19-year-old. I spent the entire weekend in the trailer doing things that kids at that age shouldn't be really doing, and smoking and drinking and carrying on. So that was happy birthday to me. So, that's the way it was. So, on to part 5. And we'll just keep going. I hope you're enjoying them. Or, So, this is Tom. And thank you for your time and your patience. I'll see you guys on the next one.